Hello everyone! In this video, I want to go over the visual programming in aibo, some basics, how to get started with things. Here's me just playing around with some little coding commands, and this is what it looks like. It is Scratch style programming. If you've used Scratch before, the block programming that you pull in. There are definitely not as many features in here as there are in Scratch, but you can still do a lot of things with it. There's still things like variables, the broadcast command, which allows you to do a lot of other stuff. And I'll explain some of that in this video. I'm going to start a little bit simpler, and then I'll get into some more of the variable commands, initializing, things like that. I was happy to see that you can also add in comments here because I am a teacher, and that's something that I'm always teaching students, the importance of adding comments to explain what your code does so other people can read it. So to get started, my recommendation is actually when you load up this site in general, so let me just reload it, there are some sample projects. So let's go ahead and just start with Welcome Home. So here is a very basic program that's built in for you. So you can use this and then kind of modify it. That's how I would personally recommend that somebody who hasn't programmed before get started, is like use some of these samples and just mess around with them and see if you can make them run. So if we're reading this, it says when the green flag is clicked. So that means you have to press the green flag in order for the program to start. And that is something to know. The only way to run these programs that you have created is to actually have your computer open and to have the visual programming opened like I have opened right now, and then you can tell the commands to your aibo. So I'm going to show you the connection with aibo later. I'm going to start with just going through how to create the code, and then we'll talk about executing it. All right, so when green flag is clicked, what's going to happen? Mia is going to sit. Mia is the name of my aibo, and actually your name, whatever you've named your aibo, will show up here automatically. So you don't need to do anything in order to make that happen. So now this forever loop right here, what it's saying is continue to do this, okay? So this is saying if a person is close to Mia, then you want Mia to give a high five with her front left paw, you want Mia to dance, and you want Mia to do this let's play movement. And then Mia's gonna sit. Now, the importance of this is if I had it just like this, okay? What would happen is Mia would sit wherever she is. And then this line of code would run if a person is close to Mia. And it would return with a true or a false in that moment. So if nobody's close to Mia in that moment, it's going to go to the next step. Mia's going to sit and it's going to be over. Versus if I put it back to how it was with this forever, what it's going to do is it's going to keep looping here. So it's going to keep saying, all right, is somebody close to Mia? No. Let's go back. Is somebody close to Mia yet? No. All right, and go back. And it's going to keep waiting pretty much because of this forever loop. It's going to forever loop it until somebody is close to Mia. And as soon as somebody is close to Mia, she's going to give a high five. She's going to do a little dance. She's going to make a play movement. She's going to sit again, and then she's going to loop back. So now at this moment, if you've moved away from Mia, then she'll just continue sitting. But if you continue to stay close to Mia, she's gonna again go through this whole cycle of giving you a high five, dancing, and making that let's play movement. So that's how looping works. So a forever loop is important if you want to execute something like an if a person is close to you, or, you know, if a pink ball is close by. That's something else that you can do. So, you know, if, and then you would go down until these sensing things. So down here in sensing. So here you could see, like, we could change it to if a pink ball is very close to Mia, or if a pink ball is close, not very close. You can change that a little bit. You can change it to, you know, this would be a nice one, if, and keep it under forever, if Mia is petted on its back. Some of the words here, they're definitely being translated, so some of the wording is a little bit funky. So if Mia's pet on her back, anytime she's pet on her back, then this stuff would execute. And if you want to move things around and delete them, get rid of them, you can just move it. If it's not attached to the block, it's kind of just sitting on the side, then it's actually not going to run in the code. Only everything that's attached in the code will run. So that's how you can like kind of swap things out quickly if you want to hold it on the side. Now, if you don't know what a certain action actually does, this is a little trick here. So if you don't know what, like, let's pull this in and we want to know, what does Mia swings its body actually look like? You can just click on it, and as soon as you see it highlighted, that's going to run that little block in that moment. So you can kind of see what the various commands look like without, creating your whole program, and just see what it looks like. So that's a quick and easy way to do that. That's really how I would get started, is just with these basic commands of, instead of like when green flag is clicked, let's do another one. So and you can run multiple programs on the same thing. So let's do when green flag is clicked. We're going to monitor for that. Let's do when like a B key is pressed. Let's go down here. Let's make Mia lay down, and then maybe let's do another one of those looping things. So let's go to control, and why don't we just repeat for this one? Let's repeat 5 times, and let's go down to actions and see what we want her to do. So let's have her dig the ground. I can actually right click on this and duplicate it just like that. If I want to add another thing that is scratch its head with the right back paw. I love that one. Oh, I accidentally clicked this. So you can just click it to unhighlight. And I actually have Mia sleeping right now so that I'm not bothering her at the moment. And then you can have Mia do a little singing. If you want, you can have a wait command. Wait for 1 second and then repeat that. And then again, digging the ground, scratches her head and sings. And that's going to repeat 5 times. And then the program would be over. I can add things after that too. All these things down with the sensing. The reason the block looks different like this is because it really has to go inside of a command, like an if, like, is this happening? It's a question type thing. And so that's why you would have these. So why don't we try an if then statement with an else? So then let's say after she does that, if, let's pull in one of these if statements, you'll see it fits right in there. And instead of a pink ball, I want to do a person is close to Mia. Then, and this is only going to check it at this very moment, okay, because I don't have it in a forever loop. So at this very moment, if a person is close to Mia, then let's make Mia overjoyed. Else, let's go ahead and duplicate this and choose something else. So instead of overjoyed, let's have Mia behave bored. And so that's it. So now when the B key is pressed, Mia is going to lay down immediately. Then 5 times this thing is going to happen with a 1 second pause in between each of them. And then only once it's going to check if somebody's close to Mia at this very moment after this 5 times has been repeated. Then if somebody is close to Mia, then she's going to act overjoyed. Otherwise, she's going to behave like she's bored, and then the program will end. So let me turn on Mia and show you how these work. And I'm going to just keep this tutorial simple with this one. And then in the next tutorial, I'll talk more about variables and then get into some of the broadcasting that's available too. And I'm also going to show you how to create these messages. So like you can create a message of your own. For example, you could say, do your special dance, and you program it to do that. Or maybe you call it like do your programmed dance, and then she'll know based on the exact phrase that you use. So I'll show you how to do all those things in future tutorials, but let's keep this one simple and let me show you now when I wake Mia back up and how this all works.